Hey everyone, let's talk about how Xbox did at their 2019 E3 showcase this year. This year, with Sony not holding a press conference of their own, the show was theirs to shine bright again finally. Let's have a discussion down in the comments below. Let me know how you think they did this year. Alright, let's dive right into what they showed off this year. Alright, Xbox starts off strong coming out of the gates with the Outer Worlds gameplay. We get to find out a little bit more about what we're going to be doing in this game. The story seems to revolve around taking down corporations that own this colony on this faraway planet, or maybe more than one planet. They haven't really specified that yet, but it could be more than one planet. This game still looks absolutely beautiful. It's everything the Fallout series probably should have been graphically, but they refused to let go of the creation engine. So yeah, could you imagine if Fallout actually used this game engine to make Fallout 76 or the next Fallout game or Elder Scrolls game or whatever? It could actually look this good and still have all the dialogue choices and all that, not to mention like the amazing graphic quality. But they show off a lot of like old style company logos and stuff, so it's kind of like a retro but space sci-fi thing at the same time, which is very Fallout New Vegas of Obsidian. So it kind of stays in their realm of doing things. But yeah, this right here they show off looks like a dialogue choice, except for without like the actual dialogue up on the screen, where you can finish the mission being a good guy and then still shoot the guy afterwards. Look at that right there. You actually slow down time to move out of the way of something. This right here, you launch him up in the air with one weapon and switch to another and shoot him in midair. That's very what, Prey, I would say, like Prey.
I suppose time will tell,
but yeah, this game is actually coming together very nicely. I'm actually very excited for it.
Will never be the same.
And next up, we have the first foray from Ninja Theory under the Xbox umbrella, and this game already looks very concerning. The art style itself looks great, but the actual game premise of multiplayer only 4 versus 4 is just, it's very concerning. We've seen other games like this do this in the past, and that they were never successful. I mean, I'm pulling for Ninja Theory because they are a great developer. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice was probably one of my favorite games last year that I played. But this game, it already looks like it's going to be in trouble. The combat is it's melee only, so it's just going to be people all clustered together swinging wildly at each other probably. Honestly, we've already seen a game similar like this that had a lot of potential, like Drawn to Death, and it didn't pan out. So I'm actually worried for this game and Ninja Theory, to be honest. But we'll have to wait and see whenever it comes out. Alright, next up we have Ori and the Will of the Wisps. This game actually, it looks absolutely incredible. I really liked the first game artistically. The style of the art on the first game was really incredible, and I'm actually really glad that they got a chance to make another one. This game is probably going to be something special. Again, it's probably one of the best games that Xbox has in their lineup. Probably had back when the first one was released, to be honest. Artistically, this game is absolutely brilliant. The gameplay actually looks very good in this game too. This is probably one of the only games that Xbox showed off actual gameplay from, so I'm happy about that. That means this game's probably pretty far along. This game is actually coming out February 11th of 2020, so early next year we'll be have this game in our hands to play. So I'm actually very excited for that. This will probably be one of the few Xbox exclusive games I'll probably play. And obviously, if it's on PC, I'll play it on PC because that's my platform of choice, you could say. But yeah, this is actually one of the very large bright spots of Xbox's conference, and I'm glad they showed it to us early. All right, so moving along, Minecraft Dungeons. I'm very confused by this game. I'm not really quite sure who this game is for or who actually would want this game. It's like a top-down RPG style game that's 4-player co-op. I honestly just don't understand this game, and it's by the makers of Minecraft apparently, but I don't understand who would actually want this game. The whole point of Minecraft is to actually like build things and stuff. That's why most people play it. I don't understand why anyone would want this ugly top-down combat game. I don't know. It's just confusing to me. And then we have talking head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, wasting several minutes of our time talking about just about nothing, really. I mean, he literally said nothing of interest here. Just typical PR speak. And then here we get to see more of the Jedi Fallen Order game from EA. And other than like this first sequence here where the robot and then the main character, the main protagonist, comes out of the water and then climbs up one of the droids. I mean, honestly, after this point in the thing, there's really nothing they didn't show off already at the EA Play conference. So they just kind of cut it to get together and made the trailer a lot faster. But other than that, it's about the same thing. All right, now this game, Blair Witch, it actually surprised me a bit because when I first saw this, I was thinking that it was going to be Outlast 3. Because if you see coming up here, there's a camcorder that gets pulled out, and it's very reminiscent of Outlast and how they use the camcorder right there. So I honestly thought this game was going to be Outlast 3, but I'm actually pleasantly surprised. But I'm not sure how I feel about a Blair Witch game. I was never really a big fan of the movies, but it looks like a fairly decent horror game. It might actually be better than the movies the way that they've done it. But this is also from an indie developer, and it's also coming to Steam. So I actually look forward to playing this one on Steam.
Wait up, bullet.
And now we get what we all have been waiting for, Cyberpunk 2077. And it's purely a CGI trailer. They didn't show off any gameplay really in this trailer. We get a look at a bullet-riddled car here that pulls up, and our main character V gets out. We see him tuck a gun behind his waistband, and we see a nice view of that samurai jacket that he was wearing the last time we saw him in the demo. And he comes up here, and it looks like this is the... Yeah, look at that guy. All kinds of cables running out of his head. He's got electronics in like his throat area. This is the guy, I can't remember his name from the demo where you do the mission for.
You got the chip?
And that chip right there is the one that he goes into that mission to retrieve from that, I guess it was like a government facility or something like that, I think. I can't remember. Need to rewatch that trailer. But that look on his face tells you everything you need to know, that he's got ulterior motives here, sending him into the bathroom to clean up. This trailer looks absolutely incredible, but I wonder if it's actually in engine. It doesn't look like it's in engine. It just looks purely CGI. Either way, though, it helps you build more of the world, understand it better.
We're rich. Oh, we are going to the major leagues, Jackie.
This gives you a lot more story here, and then you find out that Jackie got shot at the end of that mission, which is it really makes you think though, because it seemed like he was going to be like your sidekick through most of the game, but apparently they've changed how they wanted to do that. And he's dead. I know it's just a CG trailer, but it looks incredible, and it's definitely got me excited. I can't wait for this game. I can't believe that it's not coming out until April of next year, though. It seems like way too long, especially with all the rumors that it was coming out early this year, like spring of this year. But as long as they make this game good, I don't mind waiting. It already looks incredible. I mean, it's a great premise behind it. Here we see those blades that we've seen in previous things come out of his arms.
In this city's gonna be blasting down these doors after what you and your psycho friend did. We didn't need all this cocksucking attention, damn it.
They're definitely not shy about cursing in this game either, so this is definitely going to be a mature rating. I can tell you that now. Well, we already know that because we saw nudity in the previous demo. Now we see those blades at work. It's absolutely awesome. That's going to be fun to use. The only thing that makes me concerned about that is, like, I feel like it would be more fun in third person, and I still have that issue with this game. Like, showing off all your customizations and all that, it would be better to see them in third person. But they have their reasons for doing it in first person, so that's fine. Alright, apparently he got killed or injured. He ends up in this scrapyard. And now we get introduced to the new character. Mr. Keanu Reeves himself. Next, they showed off this game, Spirit Ferrets. It looks like an indie title. The art style looks good, but other than that, this game just doesn't look like it's for me. It's a very strange game. It looks like it's some kind of builder, but I don't know. I honestly, from the gameplay, I can't even tell what this game is about. It's a very cutesy game though. And next we got to look at the brand new Battletoads game. And honestly, from someone who's not an Xbox person, has never played any of the Battletoads games, I'm not even sure when they released. But I honestly don't really understand what this game is about. Is it a side-scrolling fighter game? Is it? I honestly don't know. I mean, they're introducing characters here that I don't know, because obviously I've never played the game. I mean, I really do enjoy the art style. The art style looks great, but now the screen's really crowded. I guess it's a multiplayer thing. I'm guessing it's a side-scrolling fighting game, but like a side-scrolling beat-em-up game, like old school style. But then we got like weird things like that, and then we got like a 2.5D racing part of it. I don't know. I don't know enough about these games to understand them. Next up, we got the Legend of Wright, an indie game apparently. That this game, actually, the art style is incredible. I was very impressed when I saw this game. It reminds me a lot of that game Drawn to Death, the art style. Unfortunately, Drawn to Death was like a major disappointment because they made it a multiplayer only game and no story. I think that game could have been incredible if they'd actually done a story about it, or at least some kind of single player. But this game, the art style is really cool. I really enjoy this like stylized, drawn type of art style. It's always been one of my favorite things. Then we get into the Xbox ID independent developer showcase, and they kind of blaze through most of these so fast you don't even really get a sense of what the games are about, because they literally give each game maybe 4 or 5 seconds, and then they showboat a lot with their logos and shit. But a lot of these games I've done my research on, a lot of them are coming to Steam anyways already. So if you own a PC, I'd recommend getting these on PC. But for those Xbox people, obviously you've got access now to a lot of good indie games. A lot of these actually very good. Some of them I've actually played or seen people play. Pathologic 2 is already out on Steam. I know that. Some of these are coming very soon on Steam. But yeah, it's another case of Xbox raiding the Steam independent cupboard like they do every year. Some of these games look very good though. I'm going to give a few of them a try. Some of them are obviously not my style. I've never been a huge fan of indie games though. Secret Neighbor has already been out on Steam for a while. Supermarket Shriek is actually one I couldn't find any information on, so I'm not sure if it's released anywhere or if it's just going to be an Xbox thing. Blair Witch is on Steam, up for pre-order already. Has been for quite some time. Unto the End, also another one on Steam. Like just about every one of these I've looked up, and they're all on Steam already or going to be on Steam soon. But yeah, they honestly don't show you enough of gameplay of any of these games to actually tell what they are about. I don't understand what they were trying to do here. Why they actually showed some of these games twice too. Like they gave them actual showcase pieces and they put them in here. I don't understand why not pull them out and give more time to some of the other games. Then here we got 7 minutes of our time wasted telling us about how Xbox Game Pass is on PC now, even though it already kind of was. I've played plenty of Xbox games on PC and don't own an Xbox, so this was kind of pointless. All right, this game right here, Flight Simulator, it looks absolutely incredible. Some of the environments that they've been able to create, and even some of the graphics on the plane, like the rain and running up the windshield of the plane. It looks absolutely incredible. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but if you're into flight simulators, definitely check this one out because it looks absolutely incredible. All right, now we have Wasteland 3 by In Exile, one of the newly acquired studios from Microsoft. And honestly, if you liked Wasteland 2, this is by the same developers, so you're probably going to like this game. It's, again, not really my style because it's one of the turn-based like strategy games, and it's not really my type of thing. But it does look really good for what it is. I'm sure anyone that likes Wasteland 2 or this type of game will enjoy it. It looks really good. And then we have a bit of a disappointment from me. Microsoft revealed that they have bought up Double Fine Studios, the creators of Psychonauts, Broken Age, and Brutal Legend. And honestly, for the gaming community, it's kind of a loss because this game being on multiple platforms would have been absolutely amazing. It may still come to Steam, I'm not sure, because it's still listed on Steam. So hopefully they leave it there, but knowing Microsoft, they probably won't if they actually own the rights to this game fully. But again, this Psychonauts looks amazing. It looks like it took everything that Psychonauts 1 was and turned it up to 10. The graphics look great, the gameplay looks great, the cutscenes look way better than they did on the previous one. I actually played the previous game recently, and the cutscenes were hard to watch at this point in time, you know. But yeah, this is gonna be good, I think. Hopefully they leave it on Steam though. But for Xbox fans, this is gonna be a really good game for you. And then we get into a Lego Star Wars game and a Dragon Ball Z game, and honestly, these games are very niche markets that they're not really widespread, I don't think. I mean, there's a lot of Dragon Ball Z fans, but it's just not something I care about. So moving on. All right, this game here, 12 minutes. The concept seems very interesting, like someone stuck in a 12-minute time loop, I guess. And it's kind of like a mystery thing, but from what they've shown, it doesn't really explain what the actual gameplay is going to be. So I'm not really quite sure how I feel about it yet, but it looks like an interesting concept at least. Kind of like a mystery thing, but who knows what the gameplay is actually going to be like, because they don't show any, you know, because that's pretty much the trend that Microsoft's been working with this entire conference. Speaking of that, we get more CGI trailers from Gears of War 5, including this weird montage. And then we get some kind of multiplayer squad attack. I don't even know what to call it. They don't really explain what it is. Basically, you run in with your team, plant a bomb, and leave. Honestly, it doesn't look that interesting, and they show zero gameplay once again. And then we get into this really weird DLC character that I don't understand what it has to do with Gears 5. The Terminator robot. I mean, somebody explain this to me, because I don't get why this is even in this game or why it's even a thing. And then we get another game that's not really a surprise, Dying Light 2, and obviously this game looks incredible. They've taken what Dying Light 1 did and really built upon it, it looks like. The story looks a lot darker too. It looks like a time in the future, not even the same main protagonist. So we'll have to wait and see what it's actually like, but this game actually looks like it's coming together pretty damn well. Like, that's actually really cool. Like, you tackle a zombie off a building and land on him. But the whole city's like burning in this trailer, and it looks really good. It seems like it's going to be a lot darker and a lot more interesting. A zombie like climbing up your leg there. Look at that, building's on fire. It's like we got factions warring in the street. This game's probably going to be very good. I'm actually happy, but again, it's not a surprise because we already knew about this game last year. And then we have this strange Lego DLC for Forza Horizon 4. Now, I'm an avid car nut, and I played Horizon 4 quite a bit, and honestly, I'm not excited for this DLC. I don't want Lego cars in my hyper realistic looking car game. And honestly, I know a lot of other people that play Horizon 4 that don't care about this DLC either. So I'm curious, who is this actually for? Are they trying to get more kids to play Horizon? And then we get more time wasted by a mobile game for Gears Funko Pop. What? Why? Who wanted this? Seriously. I feel like they really don't understand. And then we get State of Decay 2 DLC for a game that pretty much flopped, because I played this game at launch and it was awful. There was no real point in playing it. And apparently from this trailer they say that they've added 2 stories. Well, congratulations, you finally added a story to your game, because the original game, no story. All right, this game, Crossfire X. Again, once again, they show no gameplay whatsoever. It's just a CG trailer, so you don't know what the game actually is. I mean, the CG trailer looks nice, but I actually had to do some research on what Crossfire actually was, because they said it was coming to console for the first time ever. Apparently this game's really popular in Asia, but honestly I've never even heard of this game before, and I play on PC a lot. It looks kind of like a Counter-Strike ripoff, honestly, from what I saw of it. I mean, it could be good, but it doesn't look great. And then we get more Borderlands 3 footage. It looks good. I mean, it's basically just more Borderlands. Everybody knows what Borderlands looks like, and it looks like more of that. Maybe some upgrades to some of the weapons and what you can use and all that, but other than that, it's more Borderlands. You guys know what this is. We've already seen a decent amount of this game. They're showing off some more characters here and weapons and all that, but yeah, it's more Borderlands. Also, at the end of this trailer, for some reason, they gave Borderlands 2, a 7-year-old game, more DLC, I guess, to set up Borderlands 3, because, you know, they couldn't put that in the beginning of Borderlands 3 for some odd reason. And then we get the game that's been rumored for a while from Miyazaki and George R.R. Martin, the creator of Game of Thrones, and honestly, it looks like Dark Souls, honestly. It's got that weird art style and creepiness to it. Basically, from what I gather from the dialogue, it's kind of Dark Souls mixed with Lord of the Rings, I guess. There's something about somebody destroying a powerful ring, which, I mean, it seems like a Lord of the Rings ripoff at that point. It's odd, but obviously it just looks like more Dark Souls with just a different story. And I'm not going to be surprised if that's all it ends up being. But the thing is, with the way that FromSoftware tells stories, this is going to be kind of odd. Are they actually going to have like a real story with real cutscenes and like real dialogue? Because that's not really FromSoftware's thing. They usually have their cutscenes very sporadic, and it usually only shows off a creature or something like that. It doesn't give a lot of dialogue. But if they've got Martin on board, then there's definitely going to be more to that, I hope. Unless he's just, I don't know what he would be doing. The creating lore for all the items in the game, I guess. It's odd, but this game looks good though. I have faith in FromSoftware, so this should be very good. And then we get the talking head Phil Spencer wasting about 8 minutes of our time talking about xCloud and the new Xbox is coming a year and a half from now, not giving any real specs, just basically talking about what it could be and what it might be. Lame. And then we finally get the Microsoft Xbox major showpiece here with Halo, and halfway through the trailer you finally get to see Master Chief. So yeah, they wasted several minutes of time that I cut out of this trailer, actually not showing him, just showing a guy fumbling around a spaceship, and then they finally get him here, and it's I mean, there's nothing real exciting here. They bring Master Chief back to life. Spoiler. Surprise, surprise. They needed their main character back, so they found a way to bring him back. But this whole thing is basically just another CG trailer where you don't get to see any gameplay. You don't understand what the hell the game is going to be about, really. It's pretty much the trend that Microsoft has shown through all of their first-party studios this conference, so why should this one be any different, right? The game that people are probably most excited for, and they don't literally show what you're going to be doing in the game. It's just more of this. And they finally put a release date on it, and it's holiday of 2020. Surprise, surprise, when their new console is coming out. So this is going to be a next generation launch title.
Welcome back to
All right, and that's it. Personally, to me, Xbox's conference was very underwhelming. I mean, there was a few surprises, but for the most part, everything they showed we already knew about. There's nothing that was like big and they actually showed gameplay for. It was all CGI trailers for the most part. I mean, very few of their first party studios actually showed any kind of gameplay. So honestly, they had a chance to go big, and they went big. They had lots and lots and lots of games, but it was lacking any kind of substance whatsoever. It was all just here's a movie trailer kind of thing. So honestly, I'm not impressed. They could have done much better with less. If anything, they showed too many games and not enough actual playing of the games. So that's just my opinion. I think it was very underwhelming though this year. If you guys like the video, make sure you like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.